I wanted to open up the press conference and introduce our first speaker, Ms. Fran Ryan. She's been an advocate for the senior community for a long time and thought it would be great to have her open up the press conference today. So Fran, are you ready?
Thank you. It's going to be my pleasure to introduce our council member, Mitch Brown, but I got to tell you a little story first. Yes, I have now taken the C buses. I do Lyft. I love it. I haven't gotten lost. I had a couple of things that I worked out with you that I didn't know how to do, but I'm okay. And I love the C bus, and I haven't given up my car keys. I just keep them for myself. But I've been able to ride the bus and also to hitch rides. I got here this morning with Katie, and so she was so kind to pick me up. I fixed her some bagels this morning. So, but you know, it's happiness, not having to worry about parking the car, and doing all that. It's really created a lot of happiness for me. So. With my good friends and with all of the things that we've got going in the community, I'm really urging everybody to kind of enjoy life and smile and don't give up your keys, just have a better life. So it's my pleasure today to introduce our council member, Mitch Brown. We have been blessed, as far as I'm concerned, in the aging community with all of our programs to have Mitch as our guiding light over us and to help us through all of the processes that we have to go through for council and the administration, and he's been wonderful. And so I am so pleased. I want to thank all the people who are here today, because I know it's a sacrifice coming out to these, but to help us promote our age-friendly, not only our programs, but all of our programs with the county and with the city, with our Central Ohio Area Office on Aging, and our Franklin County Office on Aging, and all of the partners, and the Y. This happens to be my favorite Y in the city. I know I shouldn't say that, but it is. It always has had a warm spot in my heart. And Barbara, thank you so much for extending your hand and to doing our partnership with our villages. And all the village people, raise your hand. Everybody here from the villages. Look at, these are the village people. and all those who are associated with our wonderful university, where are you? Raise your hands. Okay. They have been, the school has been so wonderful in getting us together with Katie and our age-friendly people. I don't know what we do without their partnership. And where is our people from COAAA? Okay, we've got AAA, and we've got Franklin County Office on Aging. And did I forget anybody? I don't think so. Okay, now, it's my pleasure to have Mitch come up. And Mitch and I usually dance, but we're not going to do that today.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the YMCA. It was interesting. I walked in, and they have a silver sneakers class going on in the front. I think we all ought to leave from here and go down there and participate in the silver sneakers class. I'm a strong advocate for the issue about balance. I do yoga at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, and when I'm really fortunate, I do it 3 times a week. And the aspect of that is because the importance of balance. 60 people over 65 years of age who fall and go boom, boom, guess what? It causes all kinds of problems. And the issue with that is a lack of balance. The more time you spend on learning how to do that. And it's a simple thing such as when you're brushing your teeth in the morning or at night, if you stand on one foot for a short period of time and then switch to the other foot. Again, it's a different way of trying to sustain your ability to be balanced. That way, you minimize the involvement of EMS and hospitals and all those other folks having to get involved to take care of our senior community. I'm also an advocate about buttons. I send them to my friends, and my one friend sent me back a note, text me last night saying, I didn't know you like buttons. I said, well, I don't really like buttons. I said, but it's a cool way of conveying the message to others that the importance of the fact that, yes, everybody's getting older, and it is cool. It's okay to be able to get old. Yeah, our older community It's very interesting in the sense of my previous activities. I used to be the registrar for the Bureau of Motor Vehicles. Many years ago, I ran the BMV, and I was even then very sensitive to senior citizens and the aspect of their ability to, when we take away their driving privileges. When you start to take away the driving privileges because they get older, and vision and night vision all play a part in how someone's able to get around. And I was always very sensitive to the fact that, wait a minute, let's see what we can do to help them. And most times people would self-regulate. They drive during the daytime rather than drive at night. But we're very fortunate to have a community that is being very sensitive from the standpoint of public transportation and what they can do to maintain your ability to get around and to go shopping. Because as a senior citizen, you don't like asking somebody to take you here and to take you there. It's a burden on them, it's a burden on you. But how else are you going to get around to get your groceries or your doctor's appointments and all the other things that go on in your life? So you do have to make that request. And if you're fortunate, you have a younger person who can drive you, like Fran will drive me around, take me wherever I want to go. So it works out very well for me. But for some folks, that's not the case. And so we're trying to put together a project where we can educate the community more and more about alternatives to senior citizens and their ability to be able to get around. And as you know, we've got Smart Columbus coming up and autonomous vehicles. I will tell you a quick story. I'm from Pittsburgh, my hometown. And in Pittsburgh, it has more bridges in Pittsburgh than any other city in the United States. And the fun thing about it is that you can see something, but you don't know how the heck to get to it, all right? I mean, because you got to cross bridges, do all sort of stuff. So I'm, again, my sensitivity to the issue is very, very high. Today, we're talking about, we're going to launch the Mobility Project launch, which is significant about trying to educate more and more people about how to assist and how to help seniors. And it's kind of an interesting circumstance because we have so many partners that are engaged in this activity. And I want to take a moment to read that specifically. You know, the appreciation also goes to the Greater Hilltop Shalom Zone, the Central Ohio Area Agency on Aging, CO3A, the Franklin County Office on Aging, the Greater Columbus Network of Villages, and in addition, I'd also like to thank LIFT, the Central Ohio Transit Authority, CODA. They're always been very, very engaging in trying to figure out better ways to make it accessible for you to even get the passes so you can be able to catch the bus to get to where you are, and a sensitivity to the different locations in the sense of where they're located so that they can be more accessible for senior citizens. So again, thank you very, very much for the engagement in that respect. And also the Ohio State University College of Social Work for this sensitivity for mobility concerns for older adults. It's a combined effort, and I guess it's important to try and convey to everyone, and certainly all of you in here, you either know someone, a senior citizen, a family member, or a relative, someone else who needs assistance. I have in my neighborhood 2 older individuals, and I'm always out riding my bike or I'm walking, and I'm always advocating for them to come out and join me. And so the other day when I was working, when the weather was nice, outside working in the yard, and the one young lady came down and she said, "Mr. Brown, all right, now I'm gonna walk today, all right? So you keep an eye out for me." I said, "Don't worry about it. So if you have any problem, let me know. I'll send my dogs. They'll come take care of it. It'll be absolutely fantastic." But as a community, we have to be more actively engaged in recognizing and helping others. We always talk about the Columbus Way. And the whole thing about the Columbus Way is being collaborative, and it's helping your neighbor. And what better way to help your neighbor than to be engaged in recognizing someone in your community who doesn't have the kind of mobility that you have, and that you take the time to ask, how can I help you? You'd be surprised. I say, well, I've got some medicine at the grocery store, and I'm not going to be able to get there till tomorrow. And you say, well, I'm going to the grocery store. How about if you call them, tell them, I'll pick it up and bring it home for you. Small, simple things like that, but it makes a very, very big difference. Or again, when you see someone walking in the neighborhood and they're out walking for pleasure, they're not walking because, all right, I have to. They're out because, again, it's a good thing to be mobile. It's a good thing to be active. And the more you do that, the better off you are. But when I say the Columbus Way, I say on behalf of my colleagues, the Council President Hart and others, and certainly the Mayor, we are all getting older. And you want to be the ones to say, hey, I took care of somebody else. I helped somebody else. And then when the time comes along, they're going to help you. And what better way to deal with that? So with that, let me introduce the Reverend Meredith McDougall, Director of the Greater Hilltop Area Shalom Zone, to share some information about the Hilltop Village Circulator. Thank you. See, hers says for all ages. So I guess that's like young people.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Brown. And I want to say thank you to all of you on behalf of the Board of Directors of the Greater Hilltop Area Shalom Zone. Thank you for joining us here today to learn more about what is happening. I also want to thank the Honorable Fran Ryan for joining us, and for Councilmember Brown for kind of setting the tone for today. Thank you for doing that. I want to thank our hosts here at the Hilltop branch of the Central Ohio YMCA. Thank you for accommodating us today. The brief history of how we got to this point includes many different players. For some time, older adults in the Hilltop and surrounding areas have expressed an interest in seeing senior services become a priority. And so in May of 2018, some focus groups led by Reverend Nancy Day Acauer and the United West Side Coalition helped to gather older adults together to really collect their input on what they wanted to see. Funding from the Columbus City Council in November of 2018 was essential in helping us to begin the work of searching for a program director and seek additional supports. Funding from the Central Ohio Area Agency on Aging and the Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission since then have helped us continue moving forward with partner coordination and program development. During 2019, work began to find a program director for our new program now named Ville on the Hill, and we could find no one better suited to lead this particular effort than Barbara Camfield. Barbara has been busy surveying older adults, working with our partners, and speaking to local community groups to spread the word about what is going to be happening with the Hilltop Circulator, our loop route that will be helping older adults navigate throughout the neighborhood in a circular route rather than simply going east to west. She's also been talking about the social events that are coming, and you'll hear more about that in coming months, as well as the Home Maintenance Day coming in October. Today is special, though, because in launching this new transportation option, we are addressing one of the key asks of older adults from those focus groups. I want to give a special word of thanks to our partners at the Clintonville Beachwald Community Resources Center for mentoring us through this process of launching the new program, as well as allowing us to use their vehicles and drivers. I want to thank the Central Ohio Area Agency on Aging and the Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission for their continued support. And now I want to introduce Christine Happel, who is the director of the Greater Columbus Network of Villages and director of Village in the Ville. Please come on.
Thank you so much, Meredith. As she said, my name's Christine Happel, and I'm the director of the Greater Columbus Network of Villages and Village in the Ville. And I wanted to start off real quick by thanking Katie White for bringing us all together today. It's so fun to be in a room of people who are really on the side of older adults and care very passionately about what this city is doing to make life better for them. And Katie is one of the biggest champions of villages, and we certainly couldn't do what we do without her, so thank you. Villages are grassroots, member-driven community organizations created by neighbors for neighbors. They empower older adults to age in the community by providing services, engagement, and community connection. Currently, there are 5 villages in the Columbus area. Collectively, we comprise the Greater Columbus Network of Villages. Each village program is designed to address the unique needs of its associated neighbors and residents. We coordinate reliable transportation. We host social events and activities to combat social isolation. We provide Tai Chi and yoga and other wellness activities for healthy aging, like Councilmember Brown talked about, specifically to help out with balance, because we know if older adults can stay balanced, both physically and mentally, they're more likely to age healthily in their homes. We offer yard care assistance and snow removal services to reduce maintenance costs and fall risks. Villages really do it all. The Greater Columbus Network of Villages was formed in 2018 to ensure ongoing collaboration between the village programs in the Columbus area. The network allows villages to stretch resources, share knowledge, coordinate social activities, and provide an ever stronger network of support for our older adult residents in Columbus. In 2019, the network worked alongside Age Friendly Columbus and Franklin County, the Central Ohio Area Agency on Aging, and LIFT to start the Lifting Villages program. One of the most frequently requested volunteer services is assistance with transportation. If you're a member of the village, you can utilize volunteers to go to and from doctor's appointments, to run errands, to visit friends, to go on social outings, and other places that are essential to your sense of self and to your well-being. And collectively, at Home by High, Village in the Ville, and Village Connections provide over 100 monthly transportation services. And this number is expected to grow as Ville on the Hill and Village Center begin to provide services as well. On occasion, the volume of transportation service request, or the nature of the request, extends beyond the capacity of volunteers. This is where LIFT comes in. Through LIFT's concierge platform, village directors will be able to schedule rides for members, thus expanding the possibilities of how older adults are able to get to where they need to go. We want Columbus to be a model for the country to show the impact collaborative neighborhood-based services can have in keeping older adults in the homes and neighborhoods they love. We are thankful for the ongoing support of Age Friendly Columbus and Franklin County, Central Ohio Area Agency on Aging, the Franklin County Office on Aging, MORPC, the City of Columbus, and our newest partner, LIFT. So now I'd like to introduce Demetrius Thomas, Marketing Manager for LIFT. Demetrius has been integral in making the Lifting Villages program a reality. Thank you.
Good morning, good morning. You know, I have on silver shoes. I've never heard of a silver sneakers class, so I'm excited to learn after this. You learn something new every day. On behalf of LIFT, I am proud to be a part of this coalition of organizations to remove the mobility barrier for older adults and to assist in providing affordable and reliable transportation for all. At LIFT, it is our mission to improve people's lives with the world's best transportation. And as part of the Lifting Villages program, we will now provide rides for older adults in the villages when in need of rides when volunteer drivers aren't available to provide those rides. Historically, transportation has been a burden for many seniors, and it is our hope through this program we will be able to provide a reliable and stress-free experience for all who are involved in the program. We look forward to the results and the success of this pilot and look forward to future opportunities to work with the different communities in the older aging organization in the future. So thank you very much. And am I supposed to introduce? Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you, Demetrius. And thank you, Councilmember Brown, for inviting CODA to participate in this event and speak today about our exciting new mobility projects. So my name is Amy Hockman, and I'm the Director of Mobility Services for CODA. You probably are familiar with our core service, CODA Mainstream, which is the paratransit buses providing trips to eligible passengers throughout our community. We take pride in our service and providing nearly 1,000 trips each day to older adults and community members with physical and cognitive challenges. Our ridership continues to grow annually, which is challenging to our resources, but also provides us the great opportunity to innovate. I'm excited to announce the recent launch of CODA Mainstream on Demand. This service allows our customers to enjoy same-day trip planning with a 2 hours notice. We are one of the first U.S. cities to pilot such a program, and so far we're seeing incredible results with an average of 1,600 trips each month at a cost savings of 15% for each trip. In addition to the launch of CODA Mainstream on Demand, we also are taking an intentional look at increasing our older adult ridership on fixed routes. We recently convened a group of stakeholders, and with the goal to better empower older adults to ride CODA fixed route. A special thank you to Councilmember Brown and Favor, along with many of you here today, for participating in CODA's Older Adult Mobility Working Group. Finally, I'm here to announce the expansion of our travel training program. With the support of the Ohio Department of Transportation, we will launch a Train the Trainer program this year. The ODOT funding will allow us to educate older adults to become CODA travel trainers for and with their peers. As outlined in CODA's strategic plan, our new vision is to move every life forward. This means we're committed to improving the customer experience, and we will also provide solutions that connect people to prosperity through innovation, dedication, and teamwork. It's because of CODA's new vision that we are able to launch programs like Mainstream on Demand, travel training, and the Older Adult Mobility Working Group. We are committed to safe and equitable mobility options in our goal to become age-friendly CODA. I would now like to invite Katie White, Director of Age-Friendly Columbus and Franklin County, to share a few words.
Hello, another room full of friendly faces. Thank you all so much for responding to our personal invitations and our exciting day here. Hopefully, many of you were able to pick up our report where we are announcing 9 new mobility projects that were planned with older adults and individuals with disabilities. These ideas came from our community. Every day, Age-Friendly Columbus and Franklin County, a program of the Ohio State University College of Social Work, is given the opportunity to listen to our community organizations, to take the time to go out and to hold focus groups, to do surveys, to really understand what these challenges are. And so when you have a day and you have a portfolio of mobility projects being launched in direct response to what the community needs are, it feels incredible. And to have so many people in this room who support all of these projects, you hear a lot of the familiar names over and over again, it just feels really great. So hopefully everybody shares in that excitement today. I'd like to share with you the last 3 projects that we'd like to announce. The first is in response to ODOT's statewide Mature Drivers Committee. As some of our statistics in the report show, the serious injuries and fatalities of mature involved driver crashes, not at fault, is on the rise, unfortunately. And so ODOT has a real push for this statewide committee to understand how do we make sure that every mobility option feels like a real option for older adults so they don't feel like they continually have to keep driving. If you want to keep driving, we will support and educate and empower that. But if you're thinking about other options or if you need to seek other options, we have ways to support that as well. So with ODOT and the University of Texas at Arlington, we launched Safe Routes to Age in Place earlier this year. We're looking into the Near East Side, Westerville, and Prairie Township to understand what are the modes people are using? How are you getting around? Through walk audits, we're experiencing with individuals the built environment and different challenges and different successes within that. So a big thanks to ODOT on their efforts around Safe Routes to Age in Place, as well as travel training, and hopefully much more to come. I'd also like to share with you about a project that we recently started called Meeting the Mobility Needs of the World's Changing Demographics through People-Led Innovation. So through a grant with Honda, Ohio State College of Engineering, and 99P Labs, we're bringing in individuals of differing abilities and ages to help create and co-design the next wave of technologies. If we want individuals to use the technologies that are being developed, we need to engage with them in our beginning conversations to say, what are your real needs? What are your real ideas? And how can we design something that meets those exact needs? Finally, an evaluation and empowerment of mobility projects through an environmental justice lens. What that is to say is that we will be taking a app called My Amble, and we will be evaluating each of the mobility projects that we are announcing today. What we want to understand is across these different modes, what's working, what's not, and why. What are we missing? And so at the Ohio State University College of Social Work, we've got our Director of Research, Dr. Holly DeBelco-Shoney, our Senior Planner, Claire Jennings, the Assistant Director, Marisa Sheldon, in the back. And together, we're really making sure that we can hopefully be the voice either leading, advocating, or empowering the different mobility projects in our community. So thank you again to City Council, COAAA, FCOA, MORPC, Honda, OSU, to our community partners who continue to provide the important and very needed services every single day, our villages, our settlement houses, our case managers, while also continuing to say yes when Age Friendly has these crazy ideas. I also want to take a quick moment to say thank you to the Columbus Advisory Council on Disability Issues, to CODA's Mobility Advisory Board, to ODOT's statewide committee, and to our Senior Services Roundtable. Every single voice, every contribution, all of these individuals are what makes today possible. And last but certainly not least, thank you to all of the older adults and other residents that attend our focus groups, complete our surveys, and lend us your time and your experience. Your challenges are valid, your ideas are valuable. We're in this together, and this is just the beginning of people-led solutions with community-based partnerships. Thank you so much.